film opens after Nezha and Aobing engage in a fierce battle and are struck by a bolt of lightning so intense that their physical forms are obliterated, leaving only ethereal spirits behind. At this point, the Time Master steps in, using lotus flower petals to craft new bodies for them. He isn't working alone, though, as a group of villagers join forces, eagerly dedicating themselves to the task at hand. The lotus flowers are harvested, peeled, and transformed into a dough similar to that of bread or pizza. To make it light and delicious, they even add a special ingredient. The villagers hope that these efforts will help the two heroes regain their bodies after their devastating clash. Over time, the villagers stop viewing them as evil demons, recognizing the sacrifices made to safeguard their village. Once all the necessary ingredients are prepared, the two spirits are promptly placed into makeshift bodies, which resemble slime creatures. Then, the talented sculptor begins to shape their forms using a series of bizarre and illogical designs. Nezha, however, is not completely satisfied with the results and requests further alterations to the body shapes. Even though the work is still not to his liking, his parents, Nezha's housemaker, come to visit him. As Master Taiyi Zhenren explains that the bodies can still be improved, they are pleased to hear that modifications are still possible. Ultimately, however, the master becomes frustrated and hands over the task to Nezha himself, who ends up crafting bodies that resemble gingerbread figures. Without wasting any time, the master promptly refined the bodies of the two. Suddenly, a soldier rushed in with urgent news. The situation was dire, as enemy forces had surrounded the castle and were preparing to launch an attack. Upon hearing this, they too swiftly made their way to the Chentenquan Gate to assess the situation, only to find that the enemy was indeed ready for battle and had begun their assault on the fortress. The enemy, led by Master Shen, had brought an entire dragon army to annihilate Chentenquan City. This was, in fact, a calculated provocation by Master Shen aimed at Aobing's father, Aoguang. By spreading false rumors about Aobing's death at the hands of Nezha, Master Shen incited the attack on Chentenquan. Naturally, as a father, Aoguang was furious and driven by the desire for revenge. He ordered his entire army, including monstrous beasts, to destroy the city and appointed Master Shen as the general in charge of the war. A fierce battle ensued, with the human forces utterly overwhelmed by the brutal and monstrous enemies, whose strength far exceeded that of humans. This left Nezha's parents no choice but to fight even harder against the relentless waves of attackers. Amid the chaos, Master Shen, noticing a distant light, immediately realized that Nezha was present, as the light signified the ongoing process of Nezha and Aobing's new bodies being perfected by Master Taiyi Zhenren. Seeing that Nezha was still alive, Shen attempted to breach the master's protective light, but his efforts were in vain, leaving him drained of energy. Frustrated, Shen resorted to opening a portal, releasing 3 powerful dragon kings to destroy the protective barrier. Naturally, the massive assault shattered the protective shield. Thankfully, Aobing stepped in to help resist the attack, safeguarding Nezha in the process. Upon witnessing this, Aoguang realized that his son was still alive and immediately entered the portal to join Aobing. Sadly, Aobing's newly formed body couldn't withstand the assault from the 3 mighty dragon kings. Nezha, distressed by Aobing's weakened state, turned to Master Taiyi Zhenren, urging him to create a new body for Aobing, as they only had 7 days. Without a new body within that time frame, their souls would fade away. However, the master explained that a rare material was needed to activate the lotus flower's power, and that material had already been exhausted. The master suggested that Nezha and Aobing share a body temporarily and travel to Kunglan Mountain to retrieve the special materials. Nezha then instructed Aobing to merge with his body, but they argued as Aobing needed a potion to create his own new body. According to Master Shen, the potion was deemed dangerous for the Dragon Nation. In exchange, Nezha had to take an immortality test to earn the special ingredient from the holy potion. If Nezha passed, the Dragon Nation would release their prisoners of war and cease their attacks on Chentenquan City. After finalizing the agreement,
Nezha and Master Taiyi Zhenren set off for Kunglan Mountain to meet with the gods. The villagers and Nezha's parents gathered to send them off. During the journey, Nezha was annoyed and reminded the master not to overeat, warning him not to squirt garbage at his face. Master Taiyi Zhenren then began training Aobing to fully take over Nezha's body, as Nezha still harbored demonic powers that could unexpectedly resurface. Sleeping pills were the solution, allowing Nezha's soul to fall into a deep sleep, while Aobing would seamlessly take control. This would also keep the demonic energy in Nezha's body undetectable by the gods. The journey to Kunglan Mountain continued.
Upon reaching the mountain, they encountered the gods, including a charming supreme god named Wu Yang, who welcomed them into the palace without suspicion. Soon after, Nezha began to stir, feeling the urge to pee. Master Tai managed to deceive Wu Yang and sent Nezha in search of a restroom accompanied by a female god. Nezha, attempting to strike up a conversation, accidentally stepped on the woman's skirt, tearing it in the process. Infuriated, she stormed off, leaving Nezha to wander alone. He then stumbled upon a large room where vines hung and water dripped from them. Mistaking it for a public toilet, Nezha started peeing over there. Later, a banquet was held in the main hall, starting with the offering of fresh water. Nezha soon realized that the area he mistook for a toilet was actually a water reservoir. Wu Yang explained that Nezha would undergo a series of tests, each one marked by different stages, while drinking water that had a slightly salty and savory taste. Meanwhile, Li Jing's troops were diligently working to repair the damage from the previous battle, all while the fortress remained surrounded by stone towers guarded by monsters watching over the humans. Master Shen was seen training, assisted by an old, weary turtle who was exhausted from repeatedly hurling hot lava. Then, Li Jing arrived and asked Shen to open access points so the human forces could find a healer to tend to their wounded. Initially, Shen was uninterested in granting permission, even when Li Jing was forced to beg on behalf of the nearly dying soldiers. Suddenly, Shen's troops brought in prisoners, one of whom turned out to be his younger brother, Xiao Pao, which made Shen overjoyed to see him. Xiao, the innocent boy, didn't realize that Shen was the villain. He tried to show off his ability to transform into a human and praised how great his brother had become in leading an army of monsters. Shen, however, was taken aback as all of Xiao Pao's compliments were misplaced. He wasn't the great leader that his brother thought him to be. Li Jing, understanding the situation, saw both Shen's confusion and Xiao Pao's naivete. He reassured Xiao Pao that Shen was a good man who had helped the human army fight the evil monsters, which touched Shen's heart. Shen then told Xiao Pao to return home, promising to follow once the issues at the fortress were resolved. Finally, Shen relented and agreed to open access routes for Li Jing's troops. Meanwhile, Nezha was taken to a different location to begin the first test, preparing to face the beaver boss. Before the fight began, Nezha took sleeping pills, allowing Aobing to take control of the body and display his strength in combat. The beaver boss, leading his army, armed them to face Aobing. Unexpectedly, Nezha woke up during the fight, while the exam gods were observing from a distance. Unfortunately, Nezha lost the battle, leaving the Time Master puzzled. The supervisor, sensing something unusual, tried to approach Nezha but was blocked by the master to prevent the detection of the demonic aura. Nezha then noticed the sleeping pills that had fallen into a cauldron, which was mixed with the beaver's food. Without hesitation, he consumed all of it. Shortly after, Aobing effortlessly defeated the beaver boss, leaving him humiliated.
Afterward, they were led to an altar to meet with the gods. During the meeting, they discussed the battle strategies to combat the evil monsters. The following day, Nezha faced the second test, where he would battle Zhang Tao, a teacher who took demons as his students, hoping to change the perception of demons as despicable beings. In truth, Zhang Tao was a kind person, but he became the second target because of his constant association with demons. Before the fight, Nezha took a sleeping pill, allowing Aobing to take control and fight on his behalf. At the start of the battle, Aobing was aggressive, forcing Zhang Tao into a corner, relentlessly beating him. However, Zhang Tao gradually unleashed his full strength, causing the fight to intensify. As the battle grew fiercer, Master Shen observed with concern, while the exam supervisor continued to monitor the action. The fight became even more chaotic when Zhang Tao activated his power to freeze anything in sight, including unleashing a powerful spell that turned the sky dark. From a distance, Xiao Po noticed the ominous black cloud and recognized the danger, prompting him to rush toward it. Aobing struggled against Zhang Tao's teleportation abilities until finally he pretended to be helpless in front of him. Suddenly, Aobing froze Zhang Tao's hand, causing it to break. Defeated, Zhang Tao admitted his loss and instructed the demons to surrender, urging them not to fight any longer. The forces from the Sky Palace closed in to capture them. When Xiao Po saw Zhang Tao being captured, he rushed in, attacking the god's army. Seeing Zhang Tao's severed hand in Nezha's grasp, he believed Nezha to be evil. Zhang Tao tried to stop Xiao Po, but was unable to as he had lost control. In response, Luong fired arrows and Zhang Tao was forced to protect Xiao Po from the attacks. Luong fired another arrow, but Zhang Tao managed to evade and fled with Xiao Po to safety. However, hundreds of chasing arrows soon followed, forcing them to flee helplessly. Zhang Tao urged Xiao Po to run immediately, but as Luong readied to shoot again, Nezha intervened, declaring that the fight was over. Meanwhile, the troops were working hard to rebuild the city, and Li Zheng received word that the condition of the soldiers had improved after the arrival of a healer. Li Zheng was overjoyed and grateful to Master Shen for his help. The two began to grow closer and shared a meal while conversing. Suddenly, the troops arrived carrying a severely wounded Xiao Po, leaving Kong Po shocked. Xiao Po revealed that Zhang Tao had been killed by Nezha, and that Zhang Tao was his father as well as Shen's. Finally, Xiao Po passed away, filling Shen with a burning rage and a thirst for revenge. At the Palace of the Gods, they planned to meet with Wu Long, but he was unavailable. Shortly after, they received a report that the dragon troops had violated the agreement and attacked the city. Without hesitation, they set off for the city. Upon arriving, they saw that the place had been destroyed, leaving Nezha shocked and filled with sorrow. It was too late for him to realize that he had always been surrounded by people who loved him. Amid the wreckage, he also discovered his mother's war helmet.
Soon after, Wu Liang arrived and Luong explained that the destruction was caused by the Dragon Nation. While Master Tai remained uncertain and found it impossible for the Dragon Nation to break the agreement, Wu Liang was furious upon discovering dragon footprints at the scene. In a fit of anger, he gave the order to prepare for an immediate revenge strike against the dragon army. Meanwhile, Nezha, consumed by uncontrolled rage, set out to use the Ring of Fire for his own vengeance. Master Tai realized that nothing could stop Nezha at this point, as it was only natural for him to seek revenge for the death of the villagers and his parents. On their way, Aobing attempted to calm Nezha, urging him not to be overwhelmed by hatred, as he believed there was something suspicious about the situation and that it was impossible for the Dragon Nation to violate the agreement. However, Nezha refused to listen and insisted on taking revenge. His goal now was to complete the final test to obtain the Holy Potion by confronting the Lady Golem, Sutio, hoping that Aobing could get a new body in the process. Nezha's fury intensified upon arrival, his body radiating with demonic energy. Without any assistance from Aobing, he attacked the Lady Golem ruthlessly. Nezha ended the battle by incinerating the Lady Golem in a fiery lotus flame, burning everything in its wake. After successfully completing all the tests, Nezha met with Wu Liang to receive the Holy Potion as his reward. Following this, a massive battle unfolded. The God's army prepared for a confrontation with the Dragon Nation, and Nezha was appointed as one of the war leaders. Meanwhile, Master Tai began preparing the sacred potion to form a new body for Aobing. Before leaving, Nezha coldly told Aobing that there was no longer any bond of kindness between them and that their relationship had ended. Elsewhere, Ao Kuang managed to escape from the underwater prison and went to confront Wu Liang, explaining that the Dragon Nation was not responsible for the violation of the sacred covenant. Ao Kuang was unaware of the situation, as Shen, who had taken over the role of the Dragon General, was the one leading the war. Ao Kuang refused to accept that the Dragon Nation was to blame for the city's destruction. However, Wu Liang continued to pressure him, threatening that the Dragon Nation must be punished. Wu Liang summoned a massive cauldron from the sky, intending to imprison the Dragon Nation in it and punish them for their sins in hell, subjecting them to eternal suffering. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Aoguang went underground to meet the 3 Dragon Kings to demand an explanation. The female Dragon King revealed that they had only been following Shen's orders. Furious with their betrayal, Aoguang confronted them, but they explained that he had chosen Shen as the leader of the war, so they were merely obeying his commands. Feeling betrayed and unjustly punished, Aoguang decided to challenge Wu Liang in order to protect the dragon race and his own honor as the Dragon King. As the Dragon Nation was being drawn into the cauldron, Aoguang continued to battle Wu Liang. Nezha eventually arrived to confront Aoguang. Despite Aoguang's attempt to explain the misunderstanding, Nezha, now overwhelmed with rage, refused to listen. Ultimately, all the dragons were sealed inside the cauldron prison, and Nezha, still filled with fury, forced Aoguang into the prison as well. Wu Liang then sealed the cauldron, ensuring that no one could escape. Inside the cauldron, Aoguang saw that the entire Dragon Nation had been trapped within. He was consumed by fury, tears of anger and frustration streaming down his face as he confronted the 3 Dragon Kings. Nezha, on the other hand, was praised by Wu Liang, who claimed that the Dragon Nation deserved their punishment. Despite the praise, Nezha looked melancholy and hopeless, as he now found himself completely alone. Unexpectedly from a distance, Nezha saw his parents, who were miraculously alive. Overcome with emotion, he rushed towards them, his confusion giving way to tears of joy.
Meanwhile, Master Taiyi and Aobing arrived at the scene. Li Jing explained that the true culprit behind the chaos wasn't the Dragon Nation, but Wu Liang himself. It turned out that the destruction had been orchestrated by Wu Liang. When Xiao had died, a sudden dragon attack from the sky had targeted them, and the 3 Dragon Kings had retaliated with a fake dragon strike, all part of Wu Liang's plan. Master Shen, who had actually been protecting the city of Qinten Yuguan, was furious because he had lost his entire family. Li Jing also believed that Nezha could not have violated the agreement, as he knew Nezha would never betray his people. At that moment, Wu Liang laughed maniacally, admitting to his role in everything. It was revealed that the 3 Dragon Kings had betrayed the Dragon Nation, as they had struck a deal with Wu Liang, who promised them freedom and immortality in exchange for their loyalty. Furious, Shen refused to believe that the Dragon Kings had turned on their own kind. He overheard their conversation and realized that if nothing was done, everyone would perish. Without wasting any time, he whisked Nezha's parents away to safety. As the dragons began their assault on the city, burning everything in sight, the air was filled with the anguished cries of the innocent. Despite their efforts, Master Shen and the others fought valiantly against the monsters, but eventually Shen sacrificed himself to buy enough time for them to escape. Li Jing explained that Wu Liang was a deceptive and evil being, actually a demon in disguise, who sought immortality at any cost, even if it meant slaughtering his own people. Luang and Heng, 2 other demons disguised as gods, were also part of Wu Liang's twisted plan, doing everything in their power to become the most powerful beings in existence, yet their insatiable greed left them forever dissatisfied.
Li Jing revealed that Zhang Tao, who had been targeted in the previous exam, was just another pawn in Wu Liang's plot to trap Nezha. Realizing the truth, Nezha was struck with shock and guilt for having brutally attacked the Dragon Nation without understanding the full story. Without wasting time, Aobing immediately attacked Wu Liang, and a fierce battle broke out in the skies. Nezha also joined the fight against Liang. Unexpectedly, Luang opened a portal to release the 3 Dragon Kings from their prison. When the entire Dragon Nation learned the truth, they were enraged and refused to accept being punished for the slanderous actions of the 3 Dragon Kings. Once freed, the dragons transformed into humans and joined the battle against Nezha and Aobing. In the ensuing battle, Aobing warned Nezha not to let their bodies be destroyed, as their opponents were highly skilled dragons, brothers of Aobing's father. They devised a clever strategy, using thick fog to disguise themselves as enemies, causing confusion among their foes, who ended up attacking each other. Meanwhile, Wu Liang activated the cauldron's firepower, causing the trapped creatures to feel as though they were burning alive. Despite this, Nezha and Aobing pressed on, attacking Wu Liang's forces. However, the strength of the Wu Liang seal prevented their movement, and they were struck by ice. Wu Liang then unleashed roots to bind Master Taigan and Nezha's parents.
He declared that they would be thrown into the cauldron prison except Master Tai Gan. Once inside the prison, Aoguang immediately rushed to their aid. He was overjoyed to see his son, though he was taken aback when he saw Aobing's body covered in thorns. Aoguang freed Nezha's parents and, despite all the slander and attacks, remained a patient and wise figure. He encouraged the troops to continue fighting even as many were lost to the flames or turned into ash. Aoguang gave orders to retrieve the protectors, confident they would escape the hellish prison. But Lu Ji, feeling hopeless, wanted to give up. Suddenly, Wu Liang entered the cauldron, offering Nezha a death pole as a means of ending his life. In exchange, Nezha's parents would be released. Lu Ji refused, insisting that Nezha's life was more valuable and that he should grow up to be a responsible person. Lu Ji only wanted Nezha to live a free and happy life so he could find his own destiny. Hearing this, Nezha was deeply moved by his parents' unconditional love. He remembered all the moments from his past, realizing that despite the demon inside him, their love for him never wavered. Nezha cried, apologizing to Lu Ji for not being a better child. And then, Lu Ji slowly vanished into a pearl, leaving Nezha heartbroken. Overcome by sadness and despair, the demon inside Nezha awakened, releasing a surge of power that absorbed the surrounding fire, bringing Nezha to a higher level of strength. Before leaving, Nezha handed the pearl to his father, freeing Aobing from the ice thorns, and they prepared to fight. With their combined strength, they tried to break the seal from within, but Wu Liang quickly responded by pulling out the roots to secure the cauldron prison. Finally, they managed to break free, shattering the cauldron, much to the demon's surprise. As the battle raged on, Nezha and Aobing joined forces with the others to fight the demons. Wu Liang, visibly upset, transformed into a fearsome figure, ordering his troops to attack the Dragon Nation. The war was fierce and chaotic. Meanwhile, Nezha and Aobing prepared to face Wu Liang, who summoned the dragon to swallow them whole, readying for their final confrontation. Wu Liang unleashed all his power, but it was no match for the combined strength and fury of Nezha and Aobing. In the end, Wu Liang was relentlessly defeated. Just before being sent to hell, Luang and Hectung swiftly evacuated the old man and escaped through a portal. Meanwhile, the entire enemy army retreated from the battlefield. After the battle, both sides apologized to each other for the misunderstandings that had occurred. Aoguang expressed his gratitude to Nezha for saving the Dragon Nation. Aobing attempted to convince Nezha to join him, but Nezha refused, explaining that he no longer wished to live in hiding. He had come to terms with the fact that he was a demon. Aobing, surprised by Nezha's decision, accepted it. With a heavy heart, they made their way back to the ocean, returning home. However, the mood was somber. Aoguang, on the other hand, realized that Aobing's true destiny lay as the successor to the Dragon King. After all that had transpired, he didn't want his son to feel burdened by this obligation. He wished to see Aobing live a life filled with happiness, free from pressure. Therefore, Aoguang told Aobing to follow his own path in life and seek joy. Aobing was overjoyed, never expecting his father to allow him the freedom to choose his own way. With newfound purpose, Aobing set off to meet Nezha. The film ends with a humorous scene where Wu Liang, battered and beaten, went to an underground prison. There he finds Master Shen and Zhang Tao, both alive and imprisoned by Wu Liang, whom he seeks to recruit into his army for revenge. The film also reveals two other characters, Jinsha and Mucha, who are revealed to be Nezha's older brothers. Don't forget to like and subscribe our Animation Theater channel to stay updated on the latest movie recaps. Thank you for watching.